Yeah, I'm just, you know what I'm getting? It's going to take a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'm getting, my feminine's leading now.
Oh.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
I feel like my feminine's leading
Yeah.
and the masculine's allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
She's anchoring,
Mm-hmm.
and then he kicks in to create it. You know, like, so I feel like that every situation to find my heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when they put me on the spot over there, I just went into my heart and I was like, you know, shaking, my teeth are shattering, and then you just do it anyway, right? And it's not perfect, but what's perfect? Trying to be perfect.
I have a song for this.
Do you have a song for it?
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, let's see what we got. We got 9 people in the house. Oh, let me tag you. That'll give us
Okay.
enough time to allow a few more people.
Are we on Facebook? I can go and share
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, we're on
okay.
Facebook,
All right,
YouTube.
Let me do this.
We're on all of our
We're
platforms.
on all of them. All right. let me do
Yes.
this.
So I'm just gonna tag you just in case. So if somebody sees it, they can click your name and go to you instead of writing me and going, "Hey, can you give me Susie's email?"
Or do I go to Sology to find this?
No, just go to my page. It'd be easier my page.
Okay.
Yeah. It picks up the most traffic. All right, let's see.
Oh, here we are. Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna edit.
Awesome.
And I'm going to put here there she is. Just so if somebody looks at it, they can click your name because that happens a lot. All right.
Great.
We got 24 people in the house. Test, test, test.
Hey, everyone.
Uh-oh. I got to go get a new mic. Let me know if the sound's okay.
You guys hear us?
Yeah, oh, you know what? I need to turn it up.
Turn up the gain.
There we go. All right. Northeast Texas is in the house. That's my friend that stayed with them before I came here. 10 acres
Are these
of...
all the comments here?
Yeah. These are
Oh,
the
so
comments.
we can see it as we do it? Oh, that's
yeah,
so
from
fun.
all the different
Yay.
sites. Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, sound is good. Yeah.
This is awesome.
So for those of you who don't know, Sology's back in Sedona, and it came like a thief in the night. I have never. This is my 10th time here. I have not felt this held and nurtured and taken care of since I was on the streets. And Mother Universe would hold me in her arms. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why Mother Sedona has called me over here. The only thing I do know is that it involves going deep into our vulnerabilities, into our heart, and being more transparent. And at the same time, co-creating and collaborating without any expectations, without any suspicions, in total trust of the mirror that is you, that's gone and been conditioned by the same programming you and I have. There's nothing personal here. It's all programming. I think we're smart enough to figure it out now. And she's telling me, get out there and own it and show the people what it is. Because that's the only way that the coding will spread, is not because she tells me or I tell her, but we see it in one of the mirrors. We often associate what's not good with what we see in others that we don't see in ourselves, or we do, but it's also the other way around. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for Susie Beiler. She's a multi-dimensional, multifaceted, plays the didgeridoo. Didgeridoo. She plays the didgeridoo. She does a lot of really cool stuff. She runs a creation temple. And this is really good because I don't ever read anything, and this is all from my head. I remember all this.
I'm impressed.
So I've met some people on the road. Let me turn this off. I've met some people on the road over the years that have worked with Susie at Creation Temple. And they speak very highly of her. And that's a very difficult thing to do, to build a platform kind of under the radar over these last 10 years. But there are a lot of people, particularly women like Susie, that have done this. And it's quite fascinating because their communities, it's not about the volume of numbers, it's about the level of engagement. And that's what I've come across.
Quality over quantity.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. But I just wanted to say for the record that I really admire the work she does, and we've met each other several times. We've collaborated. There's no BS going on. I'm not blowing smoke. She's really powerful. The other thing that I really like about Susie, which is right up the Sology energy, is she's very real. So you'll see pictures of her dressed as a warrioress out in the canyon holding a spear, grimacing, and she's not posing, or feeling an emotion and she's not posing. She's actually sharing that, and I don't think we really give enough credit to the human part of us that we have in common, that we're afraid to share because it's hard for us to even look at in ourselves sometimes. But yeah, just a real person. And just like everything since I got here Monday, I go into Goodwill yesterday because all my clothes are dirty, and I'm still wearing them. And I heard somebody say, "Hey, you can't get away from me now." And I'm like, "Oh, it's Susie Beiler. Let's do a show." But recently, still ongoing, she has a soul symposium, and she was kind enough to ask if I would participate. It was at a really tough time. I was moving out of my house after 2 years. It was very traumatic, and there was just a lot of stuff happening. So Morgan filled it pretty quickly and said he's just got too much on his plate. But here I am in the Goodwill while she's doing it. I said, "So how's it going?" And they maxed out on the bandwidth that she was granted to do the series. So she had to actually obtain more, which means that it's been very successful and well attended.
People are loving the content.
Right on.
Yeah.
So this is one of the things that we do a little bit different when we come to Sedona with the broadcast, is we dig a little bit deeper into what the people are doing, and this is a perfect example. So, I'm all about the I Am Soul Symposium. Sounds good to me. I wish I could have been a part of it, but I guess in a way I am right now.
Well, now you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I want to, before we get into that, I actually want to tell the story of what happened yesterday for me to even meet you at Goodwill.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. So I got in my car, I'm ready to pull away, and my partner calls me. So I answer the phone, and I just sit in my car in my parking lot. And he chats we chat for a little bit. He has some stuff to say. I don't remember. But I was like, I want to go. I feel like I need to go. But, he called, so I wanted to have a conversation with him, right? So then eventually we end the call, and I run my errands, and then I knew I wanted to go to Goodwill and just, something specific I was looking for. And I walk in, and guess who's there? Mr. Todd Medina. And I'm like, oh, now I get it. Now I know why he had to call me as I was walking out the door. The timing was perfect. So I see Todd, and thank you, Kristen. That's so sweet. So I see Todd, and I'm like, hey, you can't escape me now. The universe brought us together. So it's just really sweet. And yeah. Yeah, so I want to talk about the Soul Power Symposium.
Yeah, Soul Power Symposium.
But before we do that, there's something even before that again.
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do.
Well, I had this song in my heart as I was hiking this morning, and then Todd shared with me how he's being led by the feminine now, his feminine. And so I want to just sing this little song, and you guys take the meaning of it as you will. And so our hearts expand in gratitude that you are here. Our hearts expand in gratitude that you are here. We will protect you, support you, always stand beside you, protect you, support you, always stand with you. Our hearts expand in gratitude that you are here. Thank you for bringing your light into this world. Thank you for bringing your light into this world. Our hearts expand in gratitude that you are here.
Jesus. Holy shiitake mushrooms, man. Wow, that was powerful, especially, yeah, did you just make that up today?
No, that came through like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's, you know what, I don't know, I just know what I felt, and I felt like that the feminine was acknowledging the masculine and saying, I got you, and go make it happen.
Love it.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I hope Ty heard that. He'll be knocking on the door in a minute. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go get a Kleenex. Start crying again.
Uh-oh.
It's been crying every.
I've been crying. Tissues?
Oh, I don't have any.
I don't have any.
Like a little boy, I use my shirt.
There you
go. Yeah, it's been like that every day. What's today? Friday?
Mm-hmm.
I cried Tuesday on the show. Wednesday.
Awesome. Well, we're not doing our job if we don't have tears, right?
Yeah. You know, that's another thing I like about you. But I want to talk about the soul power.
Let's talk about
but
the
I
soul
But I just
power
want to say another. Well, no, because then we'll get off on. I will get off on a tangent. How did you? Is this the first? What's it called? Soul Power Symposium.
Yes, this is the first Soul Power Symposium.
Okay, Soul Power Symposium. And so, like, okay, so this is the first one. What made you think of it? What is it?
Okay.
How many is there? And all that.
All right. Whew. Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. For several months before I got it rolling, I was just called. Do something greater. My soul was just calling me into expansion, and I didn't know the form. I didn't know exactly what it was, but I just felt my soul pulling me and calling me. And so I was distracted with life, I was distracted with stuff in my partnership, and just, I was distracted. And so finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen. I'm going to hear what my soul has to say, what I'm supposed to do, what I'm meant to do. So I'm pretty in touch with the voice of my soul. So I finally got quiet and I listened, and the Soul Power Symposium came through, and the first part of that was I saw this light grid around Mother Earth.
Right.
And I got this knowing that each light in the grid was a soul.
Right.
Was us.
Right.
And I felt like I was called to turn some of these lights on, so to speak.
Right.
And so I saw these lights being activated and these lights being turned on. I was like, oh, what is this? And then I was given the vision for the Soul Power Symposium, and to invite speakers in to help people activate their soul light, to help people heal at the soul level, to help people be given the tools to step into their own soul empowerment, to step into their soul missions. One of my soul missions is to support people in stepping into their soul mission. I've been living my soul mission for over 17 years now, and so I have a good idea of what it takes and what it looks like and what people need to go through and deal with in order to live their soul missions. And so I wanted to set up something that would really call people into their soul missions and living their life purpose. Because as you know, right now on the planet, things look chaotic, but it's just the falling away of the old paradigms so that the new earth can emerge, the new paradigms can be formed. But how can we do that if we are not in our soul power? If we don't know what our soul mission is, or if we're distracted by obligations in life, how can we set up a new paradigm? That's old paradigm, living out of obligation. You know this. You live your soul. So in order to live from our soul, we have to understand what that means. We have to be activated at the soul level. Right. And then we can come together and collaborate and birth the new earth together. Yeah. Because I'm not here to birth the new earth. I'm here to do it with you. I'm here to do it with you. Yeah. I can't do it on my own. That's not my role. My role is to do it together. So that, in a nutshell, is the Soul Power Symposium. To gather the people who are ready to be on the pioneering edge with us, and to step out and say, okay, I'll do it. I'll step into my soul power. I'll start living my soul mission. or even, I'm living my soul mission, but I'm ready for greater expansion, or I don't know what my soul mission is, but I'm ready to find out. Sign me up. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So that's what the Soul Power Symposium is all about, and it's for the people who are ready to take the next step into their soul.
Is it at Temple of Creation?
It's sponsored by the Creation Temple.
But I mean, like, what's it?
Where do people find it?
Yeah.
If you go to join.soulpowersymposium.com, you can register for free. And there have been technical issues, so I just want to say, when you register, accept the cookies.
Accept the cookies.
Accept the cookies. If you decline the cookies, you'll have problems accessing the content. And if you do it on the Chrome browser, that's the best. If you do it on Safari, that's the worst. This is what my tech person tells me. So I'm just giving you guys hints. You get a jump start here. Go to join.soulpowersymposium.com. Accept the cookies, and you'll be good to go. Now, we are partway through the symposium, so you will have missed some of the content, but that's okay. We have really amazing speakers coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you is there gonna be an archive or what?
There is an archive. People can purchase the replay bundle.
Yeah, right.
To get
that's good.
Infinite lifetime access to
Yeah,
all the content.
that's
So that is possible.
I know that Julie Weiss,
Yes,
our
Julia
friend,
Weiss,
she went,
yes.
or she's attending.
Oh,
and,
hey, there she is.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
hugs
like
and kisses to you, Julia.
anybody in the YouTube audience, she's over there. Julie, I don't know if you could put the URL.
Yeah, can you
on
put the link in there for us, Julia?
Yeah, on the live chat.
Join.soulpowersymposium.com.
That would be great.
That would be awesome. Then people could just click over.
Yeah. New friend here, Jonas L. Do you communicate with your pineal gland? Okay, we'll come back to that.
I like that question.
One of the things I really like about the feel of what you're doing is there is it's not like a nothing against the Tele Summit and some of the vehicles that were utilized by the by the communities as we were evolving, but we outgrow everything. I'm not saying we're outgrown. What I like about this is that every speaker is focusing on the same thing from their own specificity and their own right. I mean, I can feel
nailed
that.
it. Yeah, and I really wanted to have something collaborative. I didn't want it to be the Susie show.
Right.
Now, I contributed a lot of content, don't get me wrong, because I have a lot to give, but I didn't want it to be all about me. I do interview each speaker, but each presenter has brought forth their own unique soul signatures, their own energy signatures and soul codes. Each speaker has offered a process, a healing, an activation for the soul. So it's really, I want to say it's eclectic because it's all soul centric, but what each person has brought, it's well rounded. I'll say that. It's going to touch you. You're going to resonate with different speakers, but each speaker brings something unique, and so there's this well-rounded energy probably that you're feeling that when you participate you're going to get like, oh, if you need healing, you're going to work with this speaker. If you need an activation, you're going to be drawn to this speaker. It's a beautiful synergy of amazing, powerful speakers that are doing and have done their own inner soul work.
Right.
And that's why I had them on, because I wanted people of integrity that can bring forth solid soul codes.
Yeah, the scar tissue.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the brands.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? So when each one of these episodes or segments, is it all an interview, or you interview someone and then they speak alone, or how does that work?
So it's all interview. Each speaker, there are 11 speakers. And we are on day 8 today, I think it is. So there are 13 days total. So 5 more days, 6 more days. I don't know. I'm not great with math.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Well, if you count today, then it's 6 days. Anyway, there are 11 speakers plus myself, and each speaker, there's a new speaker each day, and each piece of content is available for free for 24 hours.
Far out.
Yeah.
Far freaking out. We no longer draw. We know.
And yet grounded at the same time.
There you go. See, I'm grounded. I didn't say an F word that rhymes with duck. I usually Not used to. I'm kidding. I'm just.
I don't care. You can say it. It doesn't bother me.
I know. I'm kidding. No, I've really, I try to be conscious about it. But okay, so here we are, and there are no mistakes. I love the way too that like you and people like you. I love the way that you wear it right here. What do they say? Wear it on your shoulder.
On your sleeve.
Yeah, but like you wear, and what I'm referring to is the ever changing, unknown, wild, diverse energies that just come like a machine gun freak, like pattern, and can literally just knock you on your back in at any moment doing anything.
Yeah.
It's very humbling.
Well, for sure, I know exactly what you're talking about. In creating this whole symposium, I have some interesting things that have happened where, to be in integrity, to hold a container like this, where people are going to have deep transformation, I have to be in deep integrity. So anywhere where my soul has been out of alignment with its power, that has shown itself to me. And it continues to. So one of the things that kind of shocked me was I was misusing my power.
Right.
And I didn't realize it.
Right.
Like my soul was telling me for a few years, but I didn't get it. I misinterpreted the message.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden it was very clear I was misusing my power with my channeling skill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, hats off to you because really, to me, that's the most important thing. Because honestly, it's just my personal perspective. You might not have been misusing it, but at some point, because of your awareness, et cetera, but at some point, something changed, and you didn't get it. But I love the fact when people can say, this is what I found. And there's no charge. There's almost really a reverence for the whole process.
Well, there was a charge in the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure there was.
I was shocked, and I was like very disappointed in myself. I took it kind of hard.
Wow.
To be fair.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brutal honesty of the soul, though. And and I know it causes a charge. I meant one of the things I look for in myself is when I can talk about certain moments in your life and you don't have the charge anymore.
Yeah.
You're just going, hey, this is this is what happened. But,
the charge is pretty much gone now, but
Okay.
2 months ago or whenever it was that I realized it, it was pretty intense.
Well, it's very humbling. It's a very humbling experience. There's so many different streams running. Like, personal development, service, consciously looking at patterns and behaviors, because a lot of times we'll come to awareness, we'll go visit it, yet the patterns and the rhythms are still there. I think one of the things that I've looked at, and I think I see a lot of people talking about this year, especially the last few weeks, is when energies from the past present themselves, and that takes out, whether it's a person, a place, an event, doesn't matter. It's just something presents itself, and then we go back into our old version to communicate or interact with that old energy in whatever form it's in. And I keep saying to myself, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Right.
And it's very, I feel like a child. I feel like a child in some way speaking to myself. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like a child, like I've gone back to my childhood to pull from that purity in order to go into this uncomfortable situation where I'm not going to interact in the ways that we have done in the past, which are basically
you're calling forth the wisdom of your inner child.
Maybe that's what it is.
The inner child is very wise.
Yeah.
It's just that we got traumatized and wounded and lost that wisdom. That wisdom got blocked, but the inner child has a ton of wisdom for us. So I've been doing that too. I've been repatterning myself, looking at different patterns and saying, oh, I don't want to do things that way anymore.
Right.
I'm going to do things this way now.
Right.
And it takes a lot of conscious awareness, It takes a lot
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, inner reflection.
And even if you bite and you go in, you can still pull back and go, okay.
Zoom out.
Or maybe you even do something or say something you don't want to. and I find that being able to forgive myself, and this is I've been working on since about a year,
Nice.
to immediately go, I forgive myself. I'm not going to be in judgment, because what I'm finding is the more I'm focusing on myself, regardless of how loud it is around me, it takes care of everything around me.
Yep.
Like, I don't have to get into the dialogue with someone else. I just focus on the dialogue, or diminishing or converting the dialogue, or whatever, going to a silence, into that
Beautiful.
space. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because it's too much energy, engaging things external.
Yeah.
It's depleting, and it's
100%.
devastating.
I don't watch the news. I'm barely tuned into what's going on out there. And it's not because I want to put my head in the sand or that I don't care what's going on out there. I just know that I'm most powerful
Right.
when I stay focused on what I'm creating from my soul.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Never underestimate the power of one unique and equal soul, especially your own. That you say this. I'm standing right out here last night. I had a I had a full day. Then I had a little episode that took some energy from me, but I quickly stepped outside, and I was standing right there last night, and it's been good because I've been able to connect to Mother Sedona like I never had before. So obviously I'm exploring that communication, because for me, she is the Mother Goddess. She is all the, she's it's it. So this has been the most intimate conversations I've had with her. So I walked outside, and she said to me, "You think you're small. Do you know why you're here in Sedona? Do you really get it?" And I said, "I think I'm getting what you're saying." Now, again, she's speaking to me, but it could be speaking to anybody, right? And so I said, "I think I get what you're saying." And then all of a sudden I heard right out here, a big thunder went off, and then the lightning went off, and then the wind came in front of me, and she's like, "This ain't no joke." I'm like, "Yeah, I know this language, so yeah, I totally get it." So I just plugged into it for a while, and what she was showing me was how powerful each one of us is as an energy center, and the impact that we actually have in our environment. So she let me know, just in a quick glance, not because it's me, just because she was trying to show me something. And she showed me the impact of one column of light standing right out here in that moment, and how it was how it had already energetically coordinated what I was seeing with the weather and the lightning and the storm. It was really powerful. Yeah. Yeah, I think this type of communication and divine episodes and validation and stuff is coming online more and more now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about connecting to your soul.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, Jonas asked a while ago.
Yeah.
It's a while ago.
The
He
pineal.
said, well, no, after that he asked, how do I connect to my soul? And I wanted
Perfect.
to
Let's
answer
do
that because obviously join the Soul Power Symposium and you'll get some tips for doing that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And also go into nature. What Todd just explained was a soul connection that nature helped to facilitate for him. And then also, I'll just do a quick little process with you guys. And I did a full 30-minute activation in the Soul Power Symposium. But just right now, just close your eyes and you're going to ask yourself some questions. And so the first one is, how does it feel to connect with my soul essence? Take a deep breath. How does it feel to connect with my soul essence and energy? How does it feel to activate my soul essence in my physical human body? How does it feel to activate my soul essence in my physical human body? How does it feel to circulate my soul essence throughout my body? So you can ask yourself questions like this to summon forth your soul essence, to connect with your soul essence, and to cultivate your soul essence. And I'm actually going to be doing a free class on connecting and activating your soul essence on Saturday, July 16th And so when this is over, I'll go back and I'll put in the comments, I'll put the registration link if anyone wants to come
What
to
day
that
is it?
class.
July what?
Saturday, July 16th.
Saturday, July 16th.
Yeah, so that's another opportunity for you to figure out how to connect with your soul essence, and we'll be in that morphogenetic field of connecting to the essence. So yeah, thanks for asking that question, Jonas. That was just a very brief answer, but I have a lot to say about that.
Well, talk about it.
Okay, well,
I mean, because that's what I guess kind of stood out for me with what you were doing, like just feeling into the energy of it. Even when you first wrote me, I tapped in. I went, oh wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like a full plate. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about me. I was talking about what was like forming.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I think we've been raised in this old paradigm where there is a lot of talk, and it's not always a lot of walk goes with it. So, but so in other words, we talk words. It's very conceptual. It's really almost like separate from us, like some type of dream, or like what let's say the energetic conception of heaven, like you got to do this to go there.
Right.
But really, what's more, I mean, to me, like when I woke up and I went on the street, it was I am soul. I am soul with every step. So I feel like in my own right, I knew I was, integrating or becoming my soul, or realizing I was soul, whatever you call it. But I don't, and I've had like everything layers of that. So I was by no means there, but I think this is important. It sounds very elementary, but I don't feel like it is. I mean, what is the soul? Like,
well,
how do
and
you?
I want to address what I don't know if I'm saying it right. What Nix is saying.
Where's he at?
At the very bottom, the most recent one. Kind of hard when you're in a messed up abusive. This is all the more reason to connect with your soul. So if you can, get out in nature, find a quiet spot to ask yourself those questions, because it is your protection, it is your clarity. It helps you make decisions about what you need to do in your life. And what I mean by when I say your soul protection, your soul essence is your protection, when you fill yourself with your soul essence, there's not room for other stuff to get in. Right? So when you go into a grocery store and there's, negative energy, or when you go, when you are in your own home and you're surrounded by difficult energy, when you're filled with yourself and your own energy, your own essence, there's not room for that other stuff to get in. So yeah, perfect, Nix. I love it. Yeah. I'm just responding to the first thing that you said. So being with your soul essence and energy is your vitality. It's your health. It's your protection. It's everything. It's okay to be full of yourself. I like to make that joke because...
I like that.
Yeah, it's...
Well, really,
it's,
though,
it's
better...
important.
Yeah, it's better to be too much than too little.
Yeah, there is no such thing as being too much. Right? When it comes to embodying your soul essence and energy, there's no such thing as too much.
I totally agree with that. Yeah. I saw this meme the other day, one of the ones I shared, and it was a child, like 1.5, 2 years old, painting. And it said every child is an artist until they're told they're not.
Right.
And so one of the things that would get on my nerves when, in the work I've been doing for the last 12 years, is seeing the cat fighting and the projection in these communities. And I know that's hypocritical in itself, and I'm not putting myself, I'm just making a point. And what I extract from it is always for myself. And how is this going to affect my behavior? What am I going to do? Am I going to jump up on a sandbox and say, oh, you two are fighting and you're bad examples? No. How can I do this without having a negative connotation? So what I found was encouragement, enthusiasm, to build like a new synergy. This is a new everything, and it does come from chaos, and it does take new decisions. So I really try to be conscious every day, more every day, to promote other people. How can I help people? Like when I saw you yesterday, how can I help? Is there something, I don't know if there is there something I can do?
Yeah,
is there
and
something,
you asked me that.
Yeah,
You said, how can I support?
Because I've consciously started to understand. Look, I'm getting to a point now, I'm getting really blown up because I can feel the mother now, but like, it's time to build bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one way of saying it. And one way to be, we build bridges and we have relationships because it does create an innate organic collaboration that is part of our soul lineage. And it's been shut down, and we know all the stories, and we've heard enough. But the bottom line is, for me, and I've had a lot of people get upset with me, mostly because I can't return calls and stuff like that. And I'm sure I overreact and I project sometimes. But what I'm trying to say is I'm making a conscious effort to build bridges. That doesn't mean that we sweep stuff under the rug. If you got something to say to me, you say it. If I got something to say to you, I say it. But if we're going to really be on the front end of this transition we call ascension, I want to personally hold myself responsible and set an example. So anyone that's had any of us that were out of balance, you can expect for me to be asking you to come on the show, and or in some way to break bread and to build a bridge, because it's inevitable anyway.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes. This idea of collaboration. I'm all about the idea and the ideal of it, but when it comes down to the nitty gritty of like actually building something sustainable with other people, I have a very specific frequency that I want to be in. I have very specific ideas and ideals about what I'm creating. And if someone can't hang with me in that, I find it very challenging.
Right.
Hey, Mickey. I find it very challenging.
That's an honest...
I want to have grace for people, and at the same time, my work, I hold myself to a certain standard. So anything I'm creating, I want it to have a certain standard. And so I struggle with that. It's been something I've struggled with for a long time.
No, I believe a lot of people can relate to that. I can relate to that. I mean, Sology's whipped my ass for 5 or 6 years, taking me to a place of non-conformity, of no expectation, of more openness, and I'm losing my hair. I mean, it's a lot to admit something like that, or to even examine it, because I think where you're at is where I've been too, which is I don't have the answer. I'm still going to go build this container, but really, I know down the road it's a free-for-all. So it is challenging, because you know that there is an egocentricity to it, but there's also a soul frequency to it.
Right. Yeah.
So there's this soul sovereignty thing, but there's also this, a stubborn human makes a stubborn soul. I've always said that. That's why so many light workers have had so many bumps and bruises. But I think that's a great topic, and I think this is the kind of stuff that we are talking about more and more, and it is the more important stuff, because it's really, the human aspect makes the final choice. Nothing's going to happen. I don't care how multidimensional you are. The human choice is where everything comes into full potential and alignment. So to be able to talk about these things openly and honestly, and everybody checks their ego at the door, is very powerful. I think it's the most powerful channeling, downloads, transmissions, or activations we can get.
What I would love to see actually is people come in and comment and share, examples of leaders that have stepped forward to create something of high integrity and have collaborated with other leaders. They haven't done it on their own, but they've collaborated with other leaders. And it's, something that's sustainable, something that's been around for 10, 20, 30 years. Not something that, hey, we tried this for a year.
Right.
I want to see something sustainable where leaders have co-collaborated. And
yes.
I don't know of those examples, to be honest.
I think this is a good point. I think this is the new code that we're developing. This is our gift to the universe. The universe is now gaining from us, where we had to be alerted and our memories come back and all that. And I've been shown this. Actually, was shown this about a year ago in Village of Oak Creek one morning. And they were showing me how we were going to reach this point, which was about 6-7 months ago. This is just what I was told, where we'll start, whoever it is, whatever they're projecting will be perfectly reflected back now. There's not enough, there's not enough what am I trying to say? Like a
distortion.
Distortion, yeah. The distortion doesn't outweigh anymore, so people can actually, and then it just compounds. But It's like if you look at these people, for instance, and many people have tried this. Another example would be in the physical community living. I know so many people over the last 10 years, and God bless them, that have tried to do these community things. And the same thing happens, to your point. The same thing happens every time. What happens? Well, I'm the one that brought the land. Or I'm the one that brought the money.
Right.
Right? And so there's no template perfected yet. This is what we're doing, and what you're asking for, I believe, is what
Maybe it
we're
doesn't exist yet.
Well, I think it's being created.
Okay.
And to me, the difference is in this environment, we could create something that, in terms of like substance, has the longevity of something that is 20 years old, could actually be created in a month or a year with the proper, alignment and the proper collaborators. I mean, this is a powerful energy we're in.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's interesting, talking about that ego space, because here's where I'm at. Like, if I secure the land, and if I bring in the money to do it, and I set up the land, whatever. If I do that, then I want it to be a certain frequency.
Absolutely.
There are certain things that will be welcomed, and certain things that will not work there. Like, I have very specific directions and guidance about how to set it up.
Well, and you should.
So then, if someone comes in that wants to collaborate that doesn't agree with that, how does that work?
They go find their own tribe. Well, I mean.
So you're saying that people who are going to be able to collaborate with me are going to be people that have the same vision and the same guidance.
Yeah, you're going to draw the same people.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, it's how it works. That's how everything works. I mean, like, okay, so like for instance, I know some people. They tried to do it. They were very strident in what they were going to uphold, which meant, for them, in my observation, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying, and it would make sense, suspicion, a little bit over control. I mean, it's so many ways to look at it, but because I think really when you get down to it, we're meant to be free flowing. And the way I'm trying to like bring it back for myself now, whether it be like an interaction with someone or something on a larger scale, like even Solargy Fest right now, if you go to the site, it doesn't say it doesn't have any schedule. It just says 70% of the schedule will be made out by the people that are coming, right? Which is kind of what we introduced last year.
Okay.
I don't have the answers. It's being built, but the thing is like when somebody comes in, I've noticed this, when somebody comes into the field and they're not of the same frequency, they get spun out. They get spun out. Yeah. I forgot what I was saying before that. I didn't tie it up, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've been asking for guidance on that one for a long time, and I don't have the land situation all sorted out yet, but when I do, I know things are going to move fast, and
I think so. And I think there is a lot to be said for people aligning with like-minded. That's what I was going to say.
Like
whether
hearted.
it's individual or whether it's like a collaboration thing, I go back to myself, like what you were saying earlier. Go back to your soul, whatever the situation is. Tap in, and I say, this is simply not the same frequencies, period. And does that mean that it never comes back, or you never have any future collaboration or interaction? No, it doesn't mean anything. It just means in this moment, for me to continue in balance, I'm going to recognize no harm, no foul, no right, no wrong, let's take a break, or whatever the case is, or let's, I've had this happen to me 3 times this week. And it's been amazing because I could see the power of the third energy. I actually sat down in one case and I went, okay, I know I want to say this and I want to say that, because that was bullshit. And it was, actually. But when I sat down, I said, look, that's my human. My human deserves a voice in this conversation with my soul monadic structure. I'm not really clear on what I should say. I can feel that in my body, call the phone, have the conversation, and within the evolvement of the conversation, it took care of itself, and I didn't say anything.
Wow.
I didn't have to make
Wow.
anyone wrong.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that was a big plus for me because, it just was. It wasn't the norm. That something could happen and it not be, it'd be an injustice or it'd be unfair, it'd be BS. Which, BS is becoming very obvious now in this day and age. It's not, we're in the no bullshit zone, people. So, we can't play this game forever thinking that we can go a plausible denial. It's not going to happen. But, that was really, for me, was a victory for me on a personal level. I was like, wow, I just saw how this can work. So, shut up, Todd.
I love that.
Go into the,
You know what? As we were speaking about this, I actually got some answers, and thank you, Marion, for your beautiful comment. I got that I'm going to be in collaboration with the land, my soul in the land. That's the collaboration, and then as people step forward to be part of it, we'll see if they stay in the spin or if they spin out or whatever. But it's always been that way, and I just got clarity about it. That I will be taking guidance from the land,
exactly,
and from my soul.
Yeah.
But because I'm the steward of the land.
Right.
It's not about me. It's about the land. So it's what the land wants.
That's
so
right.
I'll be communicating with the land and see what boundaries she has.
Are you buying
what she
a property?
desires.
Are you buying a property?
Yeah.
Anytime soon?
I don't know how soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
I don't.
Far out.
I don't
Susie
get
Land.
the timelines.
Like Dollywood, it's going to be Susie
God.
Land.
No, it's not going to be Susie Land. Oh God, don't say that, Todd. This is what we're staying away from. The whole ego thing is not Susie Land.
And when I got here I got here Monday. By Tuesday, by the end of the day Tuesday, I was shown several times by the universe, by Sedona, whatever. I was shown in my mind's eye things that were happening. It was like I was receiving and living it at the same time, but not because I'm smart, just because the coding was actually immediate. And so what I was watching, I guess I would kind of summarize like this. I was being told, can you see that everything is actually converging? And you can chill out. Doesn't mean you don't want to be conscientious, and it doesn't mean you don't want to have your heart and your intention in the right place. But if you just take a step back and look at everything going around, it's all coming together. Nothing can stop it. So think about that, Todd. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. Some of this information that comes in, it takes like days and days before it really sinks in.
Thank you, Marion. Yeah, we're doing it. We're anchoring here in Sedona. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm still ringing from that song. That was a great song. That was the best thing I've ever heard you do, and I've heard you do some good stuff. I liked
really?
It. Yeah, that was powerful. Maybe it's because of where I'm at right now.
Yeah. It's a lullaby, and it's welcoming babies to this planet, but it's also welcoming the divine feminine in you to show up.
Yeah.
Welcoming you here in Sedona.
Yeah.
Sedona says she's glad you're here. It's there's so many layers and levels. That's why at the beginning I said just feel into what it is for you, because it can mean whatever you feel in your heart.
Yeah. 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 The golden child, the inner child. We had Nicola Farmer on, I think day before yesterday. She's very connected. I mean, she's like you with her channel. She does Anna, and has for years. And man, she had some powerful messages. But what she said was that day, she said that a lot like what you said. She said the inner child's always been there, and the inner child is not hurt. That the inner child has not been accepted to the table of that triad of the masculine, feminine. Right, it's an equal partner. It's an equal collaborator. It's an equal.
So this is like the Holy Trinity.
Exactly.
The feminine,
well,
and the child.
Yeah, and what made me laugh about it, because anytime that there's a simple, profound truth, it's always funny to me. And it was like, here we are trying to birth this baby, yet the baby's already there. And and as soon as I got off that show, I went in and I'm like talking to my child. which I so identify with my whole life and so took abuse for it. Todd, grow up. You're never serious. Da da da. He was like, "Fuck yeah, we're on. This is on now." You know,
Yeah. No one gets to play.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But that's.
I should have brought my bubbles.
But that's it. I mean, it's like it's okay. You don't have to be uptight. You don't, and we don't have. I just feel like I'm tired of it all. I'm so tired of all the unnecessary angst. I understand it. I understand everybody's going through their own thing. But for me personally, what's my frequency right now? Like, you filled my heart singing that song. You know, or I'll jam with the guys today. I never did that before 2 days ago, and I thought I was going to have a sexual experience sitting on the chair. I didn't know you could have Kundalini through a collaboration like that.
Absolutely.
And through tones, and I was like, oh my God,
absolutely.
you know, like this is like, you know, like you're about to go meet your girl, you know, like your stomach starts to get butterflies. I'm like, what's going on? And they're just laughing at me. But this is a whole new world that, to her point, and really to what you were saying, it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's there. We just got caught up, and we don't need to damn ourselves anymore or condemn ourselves. We're awake. Let's do something with it.
Yeah.
You think we'll teleport?
100%.
I
That's
do.
my plan.
Me too. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm like on the fast track for that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
ready to not have to deal with the cars and the airplanes and the boats and all that jazz. Like, just let me just get from one place on the planet to another easily. I'm so ready for that.
Have you been having any bear encounters? Bears?
No.
I'm just curious.
Here.
No, I mean
But
like, you know, just third eye
No.
energy coming.
But javelina on the trail today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a whole herd of them. One just came up to me. It was like 2 feet away from me, and I'm like, "Hey, I just want to scooch by you on the trail here. Is that all right?" And just looking at me, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna walk around you."
Man, that's
yeah,
crazy.
a whole bunch of them, like at least a dozen.
Oh, well, I saw 2 walking down the street the first night I was here.
They're all over. They just saunter across the street. They don't
I
care.
know.
They're used to humans. They don't
It's
care.
crazy.
They're not bothered. They knew I was fine. They knew
Yeah.
I was safe, and I was just like, "Oh, hey guys."
Yeah.
Took a bunch of pictures.
The animals have been really big for me lately.
Yeah.
So
I think you said that last time we talked.
Yeah.
I feel like we did.
I
feel
did.
like you said
Yeah,
that.
because last time I came here, I had an encounter with 12 javelinas, and then I
Yeah.
had one with a coyote walked up to me
Yep,
in
there you
BOC, and then I had this owl,
Oh, nice.
which was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had.
Love it.
You know, they called me out of the land. It was on a full moon.
Oh, nice.
It was a year ago.
Yeah.
A full moon eclipse.
Yeah.
And it just started talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They're here. They're ready to communicate with us.
What about ships? I mean, I know people talk a lot about ships. I feel like I was followed by a ship most of the way over here to Sedona. I've seen some really weird clouds lately.
Yeah. I'm kind of tuned into a different frequency.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm not.
I don't get a lot of the ship activity. I mean, I can go out in the land and get those goggles and see stuff in the sky.
I get, yeah.
But it's
I
not
don't
really
do
my
that.
thing.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the ships are going to be. I don't know. I think that it's just a distraction at some point.
It can be, but sometimes
at some
there's,
point,
sometimes there are messages that they give
Oh
us.
no,
you know,
absolutely. I just meant as far as like, oh, when they show up, we're going to be okay, kind of mentality. I think that
see.
it takes the focus off
Yeah,
that we are
we're
that.
the ones that are making it okay.
Yeah.
It's not about
Yeah, exactly.
galactics or ships showing up.
Exactly.
We're the ones here to make it okay.
So I'm digging Arizona, and I'm digging Susie Beiler, and I don't know what else you got. I'm running out of juice.
That's okay. We can wrap it up if
Yeah,
you
we're-
want.
we're right.
We're almost at an hour.
Yeah,
I want to thank everyone for showing up and especially those of you who are feeling that soul level calling to step into more of your power and into more of who you truly are. This is, we need you. We need you to let go of the distractions. We need you to step into your essence and your soul mission, because without it, we can create the new earth, but I want you to be part of it, because you have your unique soul codes and your unique energy signatures, and I want you to be a part of collaborating and creating the new earth with me, and I think of as the new earth emerges, it's going to happen regardless. But as humans, I feel like we can contribute so beautifully if we are in our soul power and if we let go of the distractions. We can help that emerging process for the new earth to come into being. And like I was saying before, if you can imagine everyone on this planet living their life purpose, living their soul mission, and it's unique for everyone. The expression of the soul mission is unique for everyone, but if you can imagine everyone in their unique expression of their soul mission, what a beautiful place this would be.
Right on.
And how much fun it would be to co-create and collaborate, and how the ego would be fully integrated and not, trying to get power from another person,
right.
But it would just be like, this is what you're good at, you do this. This is what I'm good at,
exactly.
I'll handle this. And we just play and collaborate and create together. But that only happens, in my belief system, that only happens when we are all living our soul mission.
Right.
When we're all aligned to who we truly are, who we came here to be. Otherwise, the ego gets involved,
right.
And there's distortion, and we're creating things that don't serve the collective, that don't serve the highest good. You've seen that paradigm. We've been in that paradigm for eons of time. You know what that is. But if you can imagine that paradigm where we're all co-creating from that soul space,
right.
That's, for me, that's where it's at. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm creating. And so go to join.soulpowersymposium.com, register for free. And stay tuned, you guys, because there's really great things coming after the symposium as well.
Your website is
creationtemple.com is my main
Creation
website.
Temple. Yeah, I knew that. God,
I also have SusieBeiler.com and dragonsspeak.com.
Oh, SusieBeiler.com. Isn't that a 900 number or something? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. You know me, I got to keep it light. I'm Peter Pan.
We gotta play.
Yeah, we do have to play. So I think we're gonna have at least a couple of events here.
Okay.
I think one's gonna be at the Chocolate Tree.
Okay.
We haven't officially got the approval, but it's already been talked about, and we've done it before.
Yeah.
Where we'll get them to open at night, and
Nice.
have people can have something, a beverage or an appetizer, and we'll do what we always do. Just have like a little skeleton schedule, a couple of songs here and there, and then people come and just participate as they want to. It's really just fellowship. It's nothing more than that, and that's the other thing that I wanted to ask you about, because I know how intense you are, and that's something that I've had to contend with. I know how you operate. I mean, I'm the same way, and I really kind of like brought it down like over the last 2 or 3 years, but now I can feel it coming back.
The intensity?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not it's not like running crazy like before.
Yeah.
It's very slow to come up. Like I was kind of scared that was going to leave me for a while. But anyway, the intensity thing. What I was getting at is like, I don't know. I feel like it's not just me, it's around me. Like, we could get into a lot of different examples, but let's just say this. People talking about the solar flash again. They're talking about the 3 days of darkness again. The flip of the axis. I mean, does it feel like something's more imminent now than before? Or does it feel like the same old thing, and we're picking up somebody's overlay or narrative? What's your... I'm just curious.
Okay, so definitely the energies feel more intense to me. So what I actually did was I took your interview with the girl in the universe.
Yeah, S.A. Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I asked Prime Creator about that.
Yeah.
And did a whole channeling about that. So
did you really?
That's on my YouTube channel. You can watch it. It's available now.
Cool.
It's been released. You can watch it.
You see there?
Just go to YouTube, go to Susie Beiler, look up Susie Beiler, and you'll find it.
I'm already on yours.
But so basically, in essence, what Prime Creator was saying, that everyone's going to experience that in a different way.
Right.
And everyone's going to have their unique experience of it. For me, what I feel is I don't necessarily feel like I'm going to experience some solar flash or,
Right.
3 days of sleeping or whatever, but I do feel the intensity increasing. And since I've been channeling, what Prime Creator has been saying since the beginning is that polarity will increase until it's no longer needed. So we're coming to a head. We're coming to a head with this polarity thing.
Right.
This is, we're in a polarity universe. But what it feels like to me is at some point that shifts. Like we're going to transcend that polarity. We're no longer going to need that contrast.
Right.
We're going to transcend or ascend or whatever you want to call it into another experience where we don't need the contrast. We don't need the polarity. So it feels like to me we are in that place of that polarity is just going to keep increasing until people wake up enough to say, oh, I see what's been happening all this time. I don't need to be in that.
Right.
And they're going to transcend out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're learning to make like I always say aligning free will with universal will. Like we don't really know. Mm-hmm. You have to make choices to get there. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to make a choice. And it's also okay to say I'm not going to do anything right now because I don't know what to do. Right. But that was how I was going to conclude it. This is amazing telepathy. That you actually made a channel off of that. I'm really happy that you did that. I'm going to listen to it. So what I was going to say, you've already addressed, which is another way to say it is, okay, I'll just say it from my perspective because I don't want to involve anyone else. It was the first time in the last 6 weeks where I felt the intensity, not that I buy into the literal aspect of anything like that, but that there's a point.
And you can, if you
Yeah, absolutely you can.
Yeah.
But there's a point that I think, I have seen several people write about it in the last few weeks, where enough of us, I guess is how you'd say it, reach a point, and that once that point is reached, I guess it's 100th monkey, everybody's brought up to the same speed simultaneously. Mm-hmm. That would be, to me, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but to me that would be a better explanation because then it gets past all the literal part of it. Do you think that that's something that's within our reach? Where everybody flips, and everybody comes to that point you're talking about where the polarity is no longer necessary because we have the gratitude and we have the reverence.
Well, for me, that's the whole reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Is to help facilitate that happening.
Do you know what planet you're from?
You just won?
I love it.
I've been around. Todd.
Me too. I know. I love it. I was just making a joke, but that's actually the right answer. Yeah. Why would you want to confine yourself?
Yeah, right? Which most recently? No, I don't know where I've been most recently.
Mine's just a haze.
I'm a source child, so that's the frequency that I resonate with the most.
Yeah,
and I've learned a lot along the way from a lot of other places, a lot of other planets, but
people. Essences.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt. Yeah, I just wanted to play around and ask that question, but it's actually that's the right answer.
Yeah.
That's another thing I see happening too is where we've kind of built identities as a result of our awakening, and with all due respect, I'm watching people drop processes or modalities that they might have had for a long time. I'm watching them drop personification. Yes. I'm also seeing the other. I'm seeing people that can't let go, and you're like, it's almost like you can see. You ever see that meme and the guy standing on the edge of the cliff, and there's a big finger about to flick him off the cliff, and it's the higher self.
Oh no!
and the person's like, "Hey, I got this," and then the finger's like,
"Oops."
You gotta stay humble. I love you, Susie. Thank you so much.
I love you, Todd. Oh, thank you for having me on your show. And it's funny, someone said I just realized you were in the same room.
I know.
It looks like we're in
I know, isn't it
but we're
crazy?
Here. Look, we're here in the same.
Isn't that crazy?
It's kind of funny.
Isn't that crazy?
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for all your comments. I'm going to go through and I'm going to put the link to the Soul Power Symposium, and if I can find that YouTube video with Prime Creator that I just referenced, I'll put that in there
right
too.
On.
So,
right on. So YouTube Soldier One Studios channel, you can put it there, or if unless Julia did it, and then my page on Facebook, or that's probably good enough.
Yeah, I'll go to the comments.
SusieBeiler.com. I'm sorry. creationtemple.com.
Yeah, and there's a SusieBeiler.com
Oh,
too.
yeah.
There's a lot.
Yes. Okay.
Been around for a while, doing this for a while. Love
Peace
you
out.
guys. Thank you.
I got it.